Number 22. Number 22 provides for two ways of baptism. Okay? For baptism, immersion baptism as well as infusion baptism, both are allowed. Immersion baptism as well as infusion baptism, both are allowed. Two ways of baptizing. But the rite says, number 22 says, immersion expresses the mystery better. Okay? In a deeper manner it explains, because the symbolism of baptism is participation in the death, burial and resurrection of Christ. Okay? Getting inside the pond means participation in the death of Christ. Immersion symbolizes burial of participation in the burial of Christ. Okay, complete means death and passion and death fully. Okay, then coming out of that water, getting up from the pond after immersion symbolizes resurrection of Christ. Okay, so participation in the resurrection of Christ. Therefore, the immersion form of baptism expresses the symbolism well better. Therefore, it could be preferred. But infusion baptism also is equally valid. It could be very well made use. And in today's situation, at least in India, we are preferring more the infusion baptism over immersion baptism. Okay? That does not mean that our church is forbidden to use immersion baptism. Catholic Church permits. Okay? Immersion baptism also is allowed in the Catholic Church. 23 gives the formula of baptism. Okay? The Latin form of baptism is I baptize you in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. That is the Latin formula. Whereas in the Oriental rites, that will be a passive formula. You are being baptized in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Okay? That is the passive formula used in the Eastern rites. Whereas in the Latin rite, it is the active formula. I baptize you in the name of the Father, Son and the Holy Spirit. Number 24. This speaks about suitable place for the celebration of the liturgy of the word, either inside the baptistry or outside the baptistry. Okay, in a suitable place, wherever it is. That means liturgy of the baptism, liturgy of Christian initiation involves also liturgy of the word. Okay? Therefore, a suitable place for the proclamation of the word should be provided, either in the baptistry or outside the baptistry. Okay? What is baptistry? What is baptistry? Yeah, the place for the celebration of the baptism. Okay, it is called baptistry. Not that pond alone. Pond is one element within the baptistry. Okay, pond or vessel where we keep water is only one element in the baptistry. Baptistry is a place. Usually it is a small chapel within the church. A chapel it will be. Okay. Now, number 25 says this baptistry where we celebrate the sacrament of Christian initiation could be inside the church or outside the church. Okay, it could be inside or outside the church. Usually this is a special chapel within the church or just at the entrance of the church. Usually this is a separate marked place where baptismal font will be found. Now in your church you do have a baptistry, okay, especially marked place where you are going to give baptism. It is said that it should be large enough to contain at least a good number of people. parents, godparents, and at least a few elders, catechist, celebrant. Okay, all these people will be present for baptism. No, so baptist should be big enough to contain a good number of participants. Okay, in case the participants number is more or the catechumen number, the candidates number is bigger, and the baptist cannot contain that many. Okay, it could be arranged in a separate place for that occasion. There is no serious problem with that one. Now, inside or outside the church there should be a baptist, we said. No, the Paschal candle, after the use during the Paschal season, is to be kept in the baptistry, and it should be in the vicinity of the people. The baptistry should be visible to all the people, and the Paschal candle is preserved there. At the moment of baptism, Paschal candle should be lit. Okay, at the time of baptism, at any time you celebrate, whether Paschal time or outside, Paschal candle is to be lit during the ceremony of baptism. And during the celebration there is a ceremony of handing over the candle. No, you remember? That candle is to be lit from the Paschal candle. Okay, that means the Paschal candle which you used during the Paschal time, Easter time, is to be preserved in the baptistry and should be lit at the moment of baptism, and it is from that candle that the candle that we present to the candidate is to be lit. And it is the godparents who usually light their candle from the Paschal candle and hand over to the candidates, neophytes. Then number 26. Let us say there is baptistry in our church, but not all the rites of baptism are conducted at the baptistry. Okay? Christian initiation takes place in different places during the celebration. For example, at the very beginning, as the sacrament of initiation or baptism symbolizes entry into the church. No, first time we are entering into the church officially. Therefore, the rite begins at the entrance of the church outside. All right, outside it begins. Then it proceeds to the baptistry. There baptism takes place. Then comes to the sanctuary, in front of the sanctuary. There confirmation takes place, and they will be participating in the full Eucharist. All right, no? So therefore, different places are necessary for meaningful celebration of the Christian initiation mystery. Therefore, outside the baptistry, certain rites that are to be celebrated outside the baptistry must be celebrated like that for a meaningful celebration. Okay? For example, last Sunday, not yesterday Sunday, but last Sunday, I had to baptize twins. Okay? I was the main celebrant. Twins are to be baptized. That also after 25 years of waiting, these two twins they got. Such a joyful occasion in that family. So, as the baptism symbolizes entry of new members in the church, the whole community also is equally jubilant. Okay? And that should be celebrated in that way to make the whole community participant in that. So therefore what I did, at the very beginning of the celebration of the Mass, I told the people to stand facing each other in the midway, and then I went out and started the celebration completely outside of in the portico outside, and then after certain ceremonies of giving the name, and then signing with the sign of the cross by parents and godparents and everybody, then we announced joyfully, now a new member is entering into our church, let us welcome them. Okay, now joyfully all will clap or sing sing beautiful songs and then welcome the party. The community celebration is like that. Where it should be celebrated, there it should be celebrated. Then only that meaningful celebration will take place and active participation will be possible. Or directly bringing them in front and then celebrating, people do not have any particular participation in that one. Community do not have anything to do there. Then loses the whole meaning, So that is why different places where different rites should take place should be prepared adequately for the celebration. Okay? And then number 27 speaks about instead of baptizing every child who is born the next day, in the recent days, let us say once a month, fix a day. All those who are born in this month will be baptized together on such and such an important day in a month. Fix like that in the pastoral ministry and make it a grand celebration that day. Putting together all the baptisms. Okay? So, recently born, all the children, better to be baptized together in a solemn celebration instead of every day conducting one baptism. Okay, that is one instruction given there. Then another instruction within that one is, unless circumstances demand so gravely, unless there is a grave reason, in the same church, at the same time, no, not at the same time, in the same church on the same day, there should not be celebrated more than one baptism. Okay? That means in one church, with the participation of the whole community, baptisms, whether one or many, are to be celebrated together. Okay? Now one baptism, then another group will come and 10 o'clock another baptism, 12 o'clock another baptism, like that not allowed. Unless very serious reasons exist. Okay? So, one baptism in one day in one church. Okay? One time celebration of baptism, not one baptism. It can be many baptisms also together. But one celebration of baptism or baptisms in a single day in one single church. That is the normal way. That means what the church wants is let all the people participate in that celebration, and that is every time they will not be possible, all will not be coming, therefore single celebration in a, let us say once a month, organize it together, that will be better. Then number 28, only Easter Vigil is the only time suitable. Okay? Any other time also it can be made use. Okay? Whether for Christian initiation of adults or for children. Though Easter Vigil is the best time, or once a month organize it for all the children together, newborn children together. Different times, suitable times for different occasions are indicated in the rite itself, whether it is in the OICA or in the OBP. The rite itself indicates, every rite has its own general introduction, no? It will be indicated what are the suitable times when you can celebrate this kind of sacraments. So you can make use those times, they are indicated. But only one condition, the paschal character of the celebration must be stressed. And because of that one, most suitable time will be either Easter Vigil or Easter during Easter time, 50 days. Or else, all the baptisms are preferred on Sundays because of this paschal character. So, here the rule will say only the paschal character of the celebration should be respected. Only so much it says. What is the meaning of that one is, every Sunday we celebrate the Paschal mystery, no? The resurrection of the Lord is being celebrated. because it carries that symbolism. The most suitable time for baptism, whether it is for adults or for children, best time is Sunday, when there is the whole community participating. It is the member is entering into a bigger community. Okay, therefore the community should welcome, and it should be celebrated in the presence of the community, which is possible only on Sundays and feast days. Therefore, baptism should be celebrated at a time when community can participate, and the paschal character of the sacraments, it should be kept up. And you see, very lighting of the paschal candle also indicates that only, no? To indicate the paschal nature of the sacraments. In every sacrament, actually, we celebrate the paschal mystery in one way or other. Okay? And in baptism, it is very clear also. Baptism and Eucharist, these are the two sacraments where the paschal mystery celebration is very clearly seen. Other sacraments in indirect manner. Okay. So, any other suitable time that could be that is indicated already in the rite itself. Okay, separately it is indicated suitable time for Christian initiation of adults, suitable time for child baptisms. They are already indicated in the rites in the books. Okay, follow those instructions. But the paschal character of the celebration should be protected. Number 29, last one in that section, that is immediately after the celebration of the sacraments, the parish priest must take care of properly registering. Okay, registering the name of the baptized, the parents, the godparents, the place and the date of the celebration, and the minister of celebration must be properly registered. Should not be forgotten, this one, because dangerous. Later on when they ask for certificate, you don't have any entry. They will catch you. Not only because for the fear of catching, but as a part of pastoral ministry, it must be kept in mind. For baptism, for confirmation, for marriage, these things, burial, sometimes there may little bit of negligence is done, at least little bit of forgivable problem, that one. Okay, because a death certificate is rarely required, though we are asked to do it, little bit of laxity is there. But for marriage and for baptism, these two certificates are of greater importance. Okay, usually confirmation, in the case of adults, it goes in the same section, no? Okay, it goes in the same section, so there is no big serious problem with that one. Problem comes with the baptism. Okay, because at the time of marriage they need baptism certificates, and for getting any recommendation somewhere in Christian institutes, they don't ask a confirmation certificate, except unless you go for seminary, they will be asking for baptism certificate. Okay, so it should be properly entered into, that much only our concern now. So that section is over. Number 4 deals with, fourth section deals with adaptations. Adaptations by Conference of Bishops. Number 30 says, it is the duty of the Conference of Bishops of a particular region to propose any adaptations that are required for the celebration of the sacraments of initiation in their region. Okay? Now, Roman ritual. Okay, Roman ritual is a book containing those rites, especially those sacraments, over which sacrament or sacramentals, important rituals, over which a priest can preside over. For example, baptism, okay, then marriage, then sacrament of reconciliation, anointing of the sick, Christian burials, okay, these kind of rituals over which a priest can preside over. They are contained in a book called Roman Ritual. Clear or no? But certain other rituals over which a priest cannot celebrate, cannot preside over, but only a bishop can preside over. There is a book at the service of the bishop in order to celebrate certain sacraments over which only he can preside over, sacraments or sacramentals. Okay? Such a book at the service of the bishop is called Roman Pontifical. Roman ritual will not contain all that is required for priest and bishop as you are thinking. No. Now, Roman ritual will not contain the celebration of ordination. Okay? Roman Pontifical only will have that one. Because Pontifical is the book that contains the rites belonging to the bishop. And only that will be there in that one. Only those rites over which a bishop can celebrate or a bishop can preside over, which bishop should preside over, only they will be given in the book of Roman Pontifical. Book called Roman Pontifical. Clear, no? Now, Roman ritual gives an ordinary rite of baptism of children or Christian initiation of adults. It is valid for the whole universal church. Okay? Suppose in our region TCBC, there is a particular culture which needs to be integrated in the celebration of Christian initiation. Then it is the right and duty of our bishops' conference, not individual priest or individual bishop. Okay? But it is the right of and duty of the TCBC to sit together and prepare a ritual or those parts of the Roman ritual which needs to be adapted for this particular culture in the celebration of baptism. It is they who have to prepare. Okay? And they have to send it to the Vatican, to the Holy See. There the Holy See have to go through the ritual properly, the proposals, and if they approve it, only it can be used in that region officially. Understood? Otherwise it cannot be made use, such adaptations. So, number 30 speaks about the duty and the right of the celebrants, the bishops, celebrant bishops, okay, who, with the cooperation of all the council there, the commission or what we call conference of bishops of that region, it is they who have to prepare. But it should not go against the Roman ritual. But certain modifications within the Roman ritual suitable for this region alone, if they want to add, then they have to prepare it first of all diligently, and draft is to be sent to Vatican, to the Holy See, and the Holy See has to approve it. Then only they can put it into practice in that region only. Now, this proposal usually will not go through each region like TCBC like that, TCBC or Orissa Bishops Conference, not like that. It goes usually all over India if any changes are required. For example, this is more clearly seen in the section of matrimony than Christian initiation. Okay? In Christian initiation, normal things are there, normal things are proceeding, except in the process of preparation during the catechumenate, especially at the entrance to catechumenate, okay, there is a ceremony called renunciation of pagan religions. Okay? In the Roman ritual, rite is given how to renounce pagan religion. That means from a Hindu religion, person is willing to come to Christianity. Okay? Therefore, he has to renounce that one. And there is a formula of renunciation. In Indian situation, it is not that helpful to use that formula as it is. Okay, therefore, our bishops proposed, in fact, for not using that formula itself altogether. Simply, they keep quiet about that one. Okay, so in the celebration of Christian initiation, such things are avoided, in particular in our context. Okay, where there is no offense, that can be made use. But in Indian context, it can become a conflict. It can bring about a conflict between Christianity and Hinduism or other religions. Therefore, it should be avoided. So, our bishops avoid that one. So, such changes, if required for a particular region, usually it is done on a national level, national conference. Okay, what is the national conference of bishops for India? Huh? What is the difference between CBCI and CCBI? There are two types of conference of bishops on the national level in India. Okay, one is called CBCI, other one is called CCBI. What is the difference between these two? Between this is this body of bishops comprises all the bishops of all the three churches in India: the Roman Rite, the Roman Church, or the Roman Catholic Church, Syro-Malabar Catholic Church and Syro-Malankara Catholic Church. All the bishops are members in that body. Okay? Whereas CCBI is the conference of the Roman Catholic bishops. Bishops belonging to the Roman Church, Roman Rite. This CCBI. Okay? So, if some adaptations to be done in the regard to baptism or Christian initiation of adults in India, it is the right of the CCBI to propose the changes. Okay, it is the right of, it's the duty of the CCBI. In the case of matrimony, this is much more clearly seen. Okay? Now, tying tali, is it a universal practice in the Catholic Church? The Roman ritual will not give this system of tying tali. But Indian bishops have decided we will ask for this adaptation because in Indian culture tying tali is of great importance. Therefore, now in Indian ritual, Roman ritual, this is added inside. In some other place, a ring. Some places, nothing of that sort. Taking consent is more than enough. Okay? So, if adaptations are required, it is the Bishops' Conference who should do that one. And only with the consent of the Holy See, even the Bishops' Conference can introduce that ritual, adapted ritual to that region. Then, in that there are some 5-6 points are there. Okay, 5-6 points are there. I will simply just skip out. You can read that one. No? To determine the adaptations according to number 39 of the Constitution of the Sacred Liturgy, it is the duty. Then, carefully and prudently to consider what elements of a country's distinctive culture may suitably admitted into divine worship. Adaptations considered useful or necessary should then be submitted to the Apostolic See, with whose consent they may be introduced. Number 3, to retain distinctive elements of existing local rituals as long as they conform with the Constitution of the Sacred Liturgy and correspond to contemporary needs, or to modify these elements To prepare, next one is to prepare translations of texts that genuinely reflect the characteristics of various languages and cultures, and to add music for the texts when appropriate. Then number 5, to adapt and augment the introduction contained in the Roman ritual so that the ministers may fully understand the meaning of the rites and express this effectively in action. Then number 6, to arrange the material in the various editions of the liturgical book prepared under the guidance of the Conference of Bishops so that these books may be best suited for pastoral use. Okay, all this putting together in only one sentence. Any adaptations that is required, whether it is a translation of a book or adaptation of a particular rite, okay, to insert or to remove, okay, whatever is to be done, it should be done only by the Conference of Bishops of that particular region, and they can do it only again in consultation and approval of the Holy See. Okay, that much is enough and more. Then number 31. It is the responsibility of the Conference of Bishops in mission countries to judge whether certain initiation ceremonies in use among some people can be adapted for the rite of Christian baptism, and to decide whether these rites are to be incorporated into it. Same thing, no? Okay? In mission countries, when you go for mission work, you find certain initiation ceremonies. In every culture there are, no? For example, in India, there are initiation ceremonies are there, like Upanayana. Have you heard Upanayana? What is Upanayana? Putting that string, no? Jandyam. Okay? Putting Jandyam. So that is an initiatory process. Then there is one Uyala, ceremony of putting first time in the cradle. Okay, again another initiation rite it is, or giving the name to the child. Okay, so different things are there within the culture. Whether to add them in the rite or not, our Conference of Bishops have to decide. Okay, usually we don't need, not compulsory to add, but certain things which are meaningful and which may communicate a better meaning to our people could be made use. Okay, but it is the Conference of Bishops who should decide that. Others should not interfere in that. Number 32. When the Roman ritual for baptism provides a choice of several formulas, local rituals may add other formulas of the same kind. There is a provision for little adaptation. If the Roman ritual gives options, you can use this formula or this or this. Like that, if there are 2-3 choices, 2-3 more choices also can be added by the local Conference of Bishops if they want. Okay, choices are there. Then the celebration of baptism is greatly enhanced by the use of song. It stimulates a sense of unity among those present. It gives warmth to their common prayer, and it expresses the joy of Easter. Conference of Bishops should encourage and help musical specialists to compose settings for texts suitable for congregational singing at baptism. Okay. This is much more greatly felt in the Eastern rites than in the Roman rite. Roman rite by nature is a bit legalistic. Though simple, it is legalistic. Whereas Syro Malabar rite or Syro Malankara rite still more will be more expressive in the form of music. Okay. So number 33 of the introduction says that because music plays an important role in the celebration of baptism as well as other Christian initiation ceremonies, Bishops' Conference should encourage local groups, musicians to compose more songs suitable for the occasion. Okay, and they can be approved and used in the celebration. Okay, that much is there. Then last 2 paragraphs dealing with adaptations by the minister of baptism. Okay, whether he is a priest or a deacon or the bishop or a layman, what adaptations he can do. Number 34. The minister taking into account existing circumstances and needs, as well as the wishes of the faithful, should freely use the various choices allowed in the rite. Number 34 gives us permission to use freely at our disposal the choices that are at our disposal. Okay? Now for example, immersion baptism or infusion baptism, both are allowed, no? Okay? Now minister can decide, depending on the local situation and availability of the infrastructure for the same, to use whether immersion baptism or infusion baptism. Suppose the church has the provision of a baptismal font at the entrance itself outside the church, in the portico of the church, as a separate baptismal, baptistry chapel is there. There it could be very well made use that baptismal font usually is a big pond like thing with sufficient and more water. Okay? Persons can be led inside and they can be dipped inside. Immersion baptism is possible. Okay? Depending on that circumstances and local traditions, and depending on the availability of the infrastructure available, we can make use. That is only one example. But here what is said regarding choices is, suppose in the celebration of the sacrament of initiation, to profess the faith, there are two types of provisions. Okay? One is, I ask, do you believe? And the fellow will say, yes, I believe. Okay? All the 12 questions will be asked and all the 12 can be answered by the person. Or else, the person can be asked to simply recite the whole thing by himself. I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe. Okay? Another formula available in local traditions. Or else, renunciation of Satan. That also, 2-3 different formulae are available. 2-3 different ways of doing the same rite. Okay? You can make use which you wish. But the problem here, we have to clearly understand is, to perform a particular ritual, if there are 2 or 3 choices, okay, different ways of conducting that ritual, 2 or 3 choices are there, you have to bound yourself within that 3 choices. You may make use any one of them, no problem, but don't compose your own. If you have to compose your own, then the Conference of Bishops is permitted to give few more choices, as we have already seen. That means in the approved liturgical books, whatever choices are permitted, whatever adaptations are allowed for the celebrant, he can do it. He should not go beyond that. Allowing that a finger can be caught like this, you should not catch the whole hand and pull, as our priests are doing today. Okay? And that is why all rules are coming up. The latest rule came, no? A directory for the celebration of the liturgy. Have you seen that book? Directives for the celebration of the liturgy. Have you seen the book or no? No? That will form part of your homework for the next course. Okay? Therefore, you can go through and keep in advance. Directives for the celebration of the liturgy, which came way back just in 2016, promulgated by the CCBI. Small booklet only, man. Whatever be the color does not make any difference, no? It can be written in gold letters or silver letters or bronze letters. What is the difference? For us, what is required is that book. Okay? Small booklet. It's not very small, but a small booklet, not very big book as such. Booklet. Okay? But go through. This will be of great use for your study, especially for the celebration of the Eucharist, because priests started stretching the rite in such a way that taking into account certain permissions given for adaptations, priests started adding so many aberrations. Okay, adding those rites which are not suitable for Christian celebration, which they are not permitted to add within the celebration of the liturgy. So to control such things, Bishops' Conference CCBI has brought out a document in 2016 with the title Directives for the Celebration of the Liturgy. So when rules are broken, more rules will come. Unnecessarily we should not break a law. If there is a necessity, fine. If there is a necessity, break any amount of laws, God will not punish that one. But unnecessarily should not break the law, should not go against the law. Especially in regarding to the liturgical matters, our freedom of adaptation is extremely limited. Only that limited permission we can take. Last one is 35. In addition to the adaptations which are provided in the Roman ritual for the dialogue and blessings, the minister may make other adaptations for special circumstances. These adaptations will be indicated more fully in the introduction to the rites of baptism for adults and for children. That means in order to make the prayers and rituals suitable for number and gender, okay, certain little bit of adaptations are required. Okay, those can be done by the celebrant. Okay, those can be done by the celebrants. Okay, and then certain introductions, for example. Okay, introductions are or homilies also. Some will give also homilies. Okay, within the ritual itself. You are not bound to give as it is there reading. Okay, you can preach from your own also, but should not go completely against the text that is there. The idea should be brought out, but you can use your own words and you can preach. There is no big serious problem. And also to make the prayers and rituals more suitable for number and genders, okay, you can make certain adaptations within the text if at all required. Okay, atadu, ame, it will be given in the bracket, he or she. Okay, so accordingly we have to change. So those things sometimes they are indicated, sometimes not indicated. Even if not indicated, the minister can do it. Permissions are there to do that kind of adaptations within the ritual. Okay, things are clear or no? Okay, no? The Christian initiation of adults. Okay, tomorrow, and if possible, if required, we also day after tomorrow also we will deal with that same, because that is an important subject. Then on Thursday we shall deal with this one, baptism of children, and with that we can close. Friday will be exam. Okay, exam will contain it is for 50 marks, fine. The 50 marks will be this 50 marks which are meant for oral exam. That oral exam can be some questions from the assignments that you have made, some questions from what we have dealt in the class, and some question the prayers. Everything will be there. Okay, no? So therefore I may send out 5 or 6 times if not studied and come. Especially the prayers and some important things like baptismal formula or some important things. If not studied properly, and I confess to Almighty God or I believe